Hey, good morning. It's Friday, July 10th. The thought for this morning is I want to ask you to join with me in prayer. And the prayer is about our country's justification and legalization of the practice of abortion. I don't believe that there is a disconnect between all the unrest, the disease, and difficulty that our country is facing right now, and the fact that we are involved in the practice of killing children in the womb. And it's not just our country, it's the world. Abraham pleaded with God to be merciful to Sodom and Gomorrah. And it would just took a few people would have eliminated that punishment. We need to be praying that God would open the hearts of our country, our cities, our states, and the world. God is not a bystander who worries about what's going to happen. He is a God who acts. The Old Testament teaches us that. Jesus teaches us that. We need to be aware of that. Some numbers here for you. Since 1980, 1.5 billion abortions have occurred worldwide since 1980. 1.5 billion. So far this year in the world, 21 million abortions have occurred. Of those, so far this year in the United States, 453,000 babies have been aborted. And of those, 21,767 have been babies who are over 16 weeks in the womb. Since 1973, in this country alone, over 18 million black babies have been aborted. Abortion is not a neutral thing, but yet we have grown accustomed to it, just like frogs in the pot where the water is being turned up slowly. What drives abortion is not a desire to save lives. The roots of abortion lie in the planning and thinking of people who practiced eugenics. Eugenics is the science, quote unquote, science of weeding out degenerates, people that are not fit, some people who deem others not to be fit to live. Margaret Sanger is one of the leaders of that movement. This is a quote from an article that she wrote in 1923, The Highlights in the History of Birth Control. It was in October of 1923, pages 59 to 61 in a magazine called The Thinker. Quote from Sanger, "These two words, birth control, sum up our whole philosophy. It means the release and cultivation of the better elements in our society and the gradual suppression, elimination, and eventual extinction of defective stocks." We're talking about humans here as defective stocks. "Those human weeds which threaten the blooming of the finest flowers of American civilization. The results of the intelligence tests, the menace of indiscriminate immigration, the fertility of the unfit, and the increasing burden upon the healthful and vigorous members of American society of the delinquent and dependent classes, together with the growing danger of abnormal fecundity of the feeble-minded, all emphasize the necessity of clear-sightedness and courage in facing the problem, and throw new light on the possibilities of birth control as a practical and powerful weapon against national and racial decadence." Birth control is a practical and powerful weapon against national and racial decadence. That's Margaret Sanger, praised by many of our politicians today. This is join me in this prayer that we will pray that God will end this, and that we will have the courage to stand up for what's right, elect leaders who will do the right thing, but most importantly, bring the gospel to a dark, dark world. None of this is random. I ask you to pray with me about this. You have a good day, and I'll see you tonight. Bye-bye.